Hello and welcome to this video on a crypto provider. It's called Bybit. Basically, you can do all sorts of things like buy crypto, you can trade other financial markets. Let's have a quick look. So when you log in, you access your dashboard, you can see your total assets, all the hot markets. So I'll scroll down a little. You can see there's a ton of different coins, the 24-hour change, and you can just simply trade them. One thing with Bybit is they've got a ton of rewards and offers and bonuses and things like that. Normally, I try and steer clear from that type of thing, but the basis of how they've structured it is actually quite cool. So I'm going to click Get Verified now and show you what I mean by that. So it doesn't actually show up in here. This is basically where you go and submit your ID, that kind of thing, so it knows who you are. This is a requirement by all crypto and finance companies. I'll go to the rewards hub to see if I can find what I was talking about. Okay, so in the rewards hub, you've got new user welcome gifts. So we've got 100 USDT in welcome gifts, which is pretty cool. You know, it's not like a $5 or a $10, it's 100 USD. And you get 20 of those just for completing an identity verification. You get another $20 when you deposit greater than $100. I'm sure that's USD as well in value. And then what you can also do is once you trade over $10 in volume, after you've deposited $100 at the same time, you get another $20. So that's your first three gifts, quite easy to attain. Now you jump up if you want to earn 40 USDT, you deposit greater than $100 and then trade greater than $10,000. So that's your trading volume. So for example, if you were to buy and sell that $100, 100 times over, that would be close to the value of trading $10,000 worth of volume. So even with that $100, you use that same $100 to trade in and out, obviously accounting for fees, any losses, and then hopefully you'd get some profits along the way as well to make that $10,000 more attainable. So basically that's 100 trades worth of volume to earn that $40 extra reward. Just in those rewards alone, that's 100 USDT in welcome gifts. Pretty cool. Now, every country and jurisdiction is probably going to have different value. So depending on where you've signed up from, you may have different rewards, welcome gifts, and at different times they're going to have different bonuses as well. So just keep an eye out. Make sure you go to the rewards hub to see what you need to do next to get that extra $20 or $40. We also have a new user zone, which is basically to stake greater than 100 USDT on savings. So I go into a savings account, for example, on my platform here, and then I allocate or stake $100, and then it gives me a bonus here. So it actually bumps the return, the APR up to 555%. So that APR is generally an annual rate. So for example, if I had $100 in there, let's say the coin that I stake on stays the same value, then at the end of a year or 12 months, I should have about $555. So that's a pretty cool bonus, and it's an incentive that basically drives people to put some money away, build up their system effectively. So there's no real tricks or anything like that. Basically, they're actually offering this because they get value by having people engaged in their platform. So a lot of things like bonus bets and other platforms like that, they try and influence quite a bit of trading and volume movement because they know at the end of the day, for those ones, they're often going to lose. But stuff like this where you've got 100 USDT, now depending on obviously what coin you're staking and you just hold that for a year, it's actually a very good bonus. This one here, on the other hand, they trade 10,000, so trading your $100 at least, say 100 times, the chances of you, I guess, making a mistake through that 100 trades is, you know, depending on your experience and that kind of thing, if you're just trying to get that trade volume up, that could cause issues. So just be wary of trading volume ones. If you had 10K in there and you traded it once, obviously that's a very different kind of thought pattern, but trading that $100 over and over again just to get your $40 may be a bit of a trap. So just be aware of, I guess, the nature of each reward. Now there's also a 5,000 USDT deposit blast off rewards. There's a bunch of rules here. Basically it says here, deposit over 500 and then trade over 5,000. So if you deposited 500, you trade that 10 times over. And that looks to be within derivatives. So we just have to check out the rules and get more information on that. That's 5,000 USDT deposit reward. That's quite massive, but I think it might take a little while to actually get that bonus active. Just read the rules, be careful, and make sure you understand what you're playing around in before you start really targeting these bonuses. But in particular, these top ones are super easy to do, and you actually kind of have to do that with any platform. Pretty cool sort of a setup here. I'll keep scrolling down. There's a ton of different things you can get involved in. Now, a lot of other platforms, they'll have little bonuses, but they don't actually give you much value. They might give you like gems or diamonds or something like that, but then they don't really convert into anything. What Bybit are giving you is actual USD token, so USDT, which is effectively a US dollar in essence. Nice and easy to convert the value of what you do here and know what you're actually getting for that. Go from spot to derivatives. So if you want to trade with leverage, which a lot of my channel does cover leveraged products, you can do that here as well. When you go to Bybit, you log in, you create an account, it's super easy, and then you've got P2P trading, where you can actually trade between other people directly, and that's all zero fees. So if you don't like fees, this is a great way to go. You've also got one-click buy, which probably what you do down here, so you just hit trade. So if I hit that button, takes me into a full-on platform. So very much like a lot of the other providers, you can see the depth of market, you can see the price in a chart over here, so you can change, go to a 1 week chart, scroll up and down on the price to change that. You can drag the actual chart itself, and if I scroll in, for example, or towards the chart, that'll zoom in on the time down here. So very easy to use, very easy to navigate. So I'm just going to get rid of that trading guide. Don't really need that. So let's take a look. We've got a range of different margin options here. I'm just going to put it to ×1, but we can go all the way up to 100, and you can even customize it. That'll tell me the max position at current leverage, 2 million USDT. So you've got a limit order, a market order, and then conditionals here. So if you want to just get in at market, you can select how much value of your portfolio you want to actually buy in for, and then you can hit long or short. So this is basically actual trading. If I now go back, because that was in derivatives, if I go back to the spot market and I hit trade, so we've got a bit of a tutorial here, but we don't really need that. It's all very self-explanatory. So we've got the chart just as before, but the buy and sell order template is much easier. So you've got limit orders here. You can drag this across to see how much actual volume you want to trade with comparative to your portfolio size. So if you want to buy 100% of your portfolio into this off the USDT balance, that is, you can do that. You can also go into a market order, much easier to just get in and out. But often with a market order, you do lose some of the spread. So often you get your exact price with a limit order. You just have to make sure that you actually hit the right price. You can see over here as well, we've got the volume kind of layout here, the order book. So that's often very useful for traders that are very in-depth with their analysis. Often I like to just use the general chart, get a bit of a feel for the price and how it looks. Down the bottom, you've got open orders, positions, order history, trade history, assets. So you can go through and have a look at obviously what you've got there, and then your P&L. So you've got last 30 days, 7 days and 180 days, just to see how you've been going over different periods of time. Back over to the main platform, let's have a look at what else. So you can deposit fiat, so your normal currencies such as USD, Canadian dollar, euro, that kind of thing. You can also deposit cryptos or even convert. I'm not too sure what the convert one does just yet, but we'll check that out at some point in the future. I'm going to click on markets now. So I want to stick to spot because when I buy crypto, often I like to just buy it and hold it because it is so volatile, and I'm not, I guess, an expert in the field, but I do have a lot of faith that the market or the economy as a whole is really moving towards that crypto space. We're seeing a lot of additional regulation in the US and many other countries coming in to basically back crypto. You've also got BlackRock, which is one of the biggest companies in the world, effectively. They're buying up a lot of different crypto as well and starting funds, ETFs, that kind of thing around cryptocurrency. So there's a lot of movement in the space. I think it is important to start learning about it and consider it as a potential investment. One crypto that I am in is PulseX. That's not there. It's not actually listed on any just yet, but it's always worth having a check. We've got Dogecoin, SHIBs on there. Now you can see when I search, it's pulling up all of the different options there. So you've got SHIB into USDC, USDT with 10 times. These are actually leveraged products, and I'm not sure if you can actually just buy them outright, but you've got SHIB Euro here as well, which I would imagine that is a spot market. You've also got newly listed, so you can go through all of the newly listed pairs, see what's new to the market. So I'll just sort by lowest price. Now the lowest option there is 0.001. There's a lot of new listings here. If you know and follow a lot of the cryptocurrency news, I'm sure you'd be able to have a good go at new coins. I'm just going to jump in and see what actually happened when these guys get listed. So I can see here, this one, I'll pull this up, see what details does. So that's a 24-hour chart. This pulls up all the information when I hit details. And I just want to see what happened when it actually launched. Okay, so in the 200-day chart, when it launched, by the looks, what happened was it dropped a little bit and then it had its massive spike before coming back down. So that's the kind of action that you often see with a new coin. That happened over several days. So often on some platforms, the spike happens almost instantly to the point where you can't even get a Python code to collect the order. So that's really cool to see that it kind of took a little while to have that massive spike, meaning that you're more likely to be able to get into the market and take advantage of those moves when they get listed. If I just hit back, I'll go newly listed again and we'll have a look at the top one. I just want to go the lowest price just to see, because sometimes the lowest price, it has a lot more movement going on, a bit more volatility that you can potentially take advantage of. On the 21st of the 8th, so about a month and a bit ago, kind of hung around, but it really had a boost of late and then it dropped down. So on the open at 0.0005 to, let's say, just the average point here, 0.001, basically looking at double. So, sometimes watching these newly listed coins and getting them as soon as they jump on is a tactic that a lot of, high volatility traders like to get in on. Got a lot of key metrics here as well, so tons of information available if you know what you're looking for. As I said, I'm more of a DAX or index trader, not so much crypto, but as I mentioned earlier, crypto is moving in that direction where it's a lot more recognized. Institutional funds are flowing there more and more, particularly with BlackRock backing that movement. So there's the option for people to trade spot, buy the actual coins, and there's also the option to trade at leverage. So you've got these coins that already move massively, and then you stack some derivatives on top. There is obviously a massive chance that you can wipe your account out, but at the same time, there's a lot of upside there potentially as well. So if you love massive movements and throw on some leverage on top, Bybit does have that opportunity. If you want to get an account, links in the description below, and enjoy. If you enjoyed this video or took something positive from it, please hit the like button below. It lets me know this is helping others. To see more great content like this, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay updated with the latest.